Hi, I'm Hannah.
And I'm Matt Hannah.
And this is Horror Hour with the Hannahs,
where you are about to get to listen to the very first episode of our new podcast, Welcome to Twin Peaks, a Twin Peaks rewatch podcast.
I'm watching the show for the very first time, and Matt is coming along with me, having watched the show before. So make sure to check out our episodes to hear all of our thoughts on this incredible, spoiler alert, it's incredible show from David Lynch and Mark Frost.
Yeah, you can find it anywhere you find podcasts. Welcome to Twin Peaks, a Twin Peaks rewatch podcast. Look for Horror Out the Hannahs, all that good stuff. We're going to be posting the first two episodes of it here on the main channel, but after that, it will only be on the new podcast channel, Welcome to Twin Peaks. So make sure you go and follow that now, 5 stars, and all that jazz.
We're also going to have the link to the new podcast in the description of this episode, so you can very easily find it.
And so without further ado, here's Welcome to Twin Peaks.
Entering the town of Twin Peaks.
There was a fish in the percolator.
A damn fine cup of coffee.
You are witnessing a front three-quarter view of two adults sharing a tender moment.
It is happening again.
Take another look, Sonny. It's going to happen again.
What kind of fantastic trees have you got growing around here?
I'm going to turn it upside down.
Sheriff, we got a lot to talk about.
Sheriff Hannah, we do have a lot to talk about.
Yes, we do.
So, everyone, this is Welcome to Twin Peaks, Horror Hour with the Hannahs special Twin Peaks rewatch watch-along podcast that I have been begging to do for, it's basically the beginning of the podcast that Hannah has finally agreed to. So.
Okay, you've been trying to get me to watch the show.
You know what, you're right.
Not necessarily podcast about the show, but I was like, you know what, it will motivate me.
If we podcast about it.
If we podcast about it. And I said my New Year's resolution
was to start the show.
To start the show.
So we watched the pilot on New Year's Day.
Yes.
And we said, all right, it's time.
Yes.
And we are running with this. So if you haven't seen the show before, welcome. If you have, welcome back. And so how we're going to kind of run with this is Hannah has never watched the show. She's aware of plot points, but yes. I would be considered the veteran as the person who's watched it all through once. However, I would say it quickly became my favorite show of all time after finishing it. And I would stand by that. So I will be your Special Agent Dale Cooper to your Harry S. Truman as I guide you through the world of the unknown here. So we're excited. We hope you guys stick around. We won't do this whole intro every time. Yeah. But let's roll with it. So we are just covering the pilot today.
Yes.
Which, again, you watched for the first time. I've seen it a couple times. The pilot is the name for it, because they have a name for every episode, is Northwest Passage, which was actually what they wanted to name the show overall. Ooh. But there was already a show called that. Oh. They also wanted to set it in North Dakota. But a bunch of that changed. They decided, hey, we're going to be outside Washington near the Canadian border. Going to call it Twin Peaks. So, name of the pilot, Northwest Passage. It was written by series creator Mark Frost and David Lynch. Yes, that David Lynch, obviously.
Our
and
boy.
Directed by David Lynch.
Hell yeah.
Premiered in September of 1989 at the Telluride Film Festival, which I just learned that today. Eventually it did air on TV as well. What? Telluride? Wow, whatever. And they filmed this for $1.8 million, which would be approximately $5 million adjusted for inflation for today.
That's crazy.
That's what they filmed it for?
That it was that expensive.
Yeah, I mean, so interestingly enough, I'll get to the cost of the other episodes as well. But I think, Lynch is definitely, and Frost really are kind of perfectionists in this. They this clearly doesn't look like TV at the time. This, especially the pilot, I think it changes more to a typical TV standard, but this pilot looks more like a film.
Yeah.
So upon release, a connoisseur called Twin Peaks, the series that will change TV forever. And that was after one episode, one pilot.
Wild. That's a lot.
And the Washington Post wrote, Twin Peaks isn't just a visit to another town, it's a visit to another planet. And, those were two quotes I really liked, because that is also how I feel about the show. And I do think it did change TV forever. Interestingly enough, I think it took years post the show, maybe even a decade after the show, for it to actually have its effect, though.
Yeah.
And then obviously looking into The Return, which we will be watching as well. So,
have you started a TV show ever that you're like, this TV show will change TV forever?
I think that you and I have not lived through an era where that was really possible. Other than we were too young for like shows like Lost, and so I don't think we were watching stuff that could really change. I mean, The Sopranos is something they considered to do that. Maybe Breaking Bad.
I was gonna say starting Game of Thrones. It feels that way.
You know what? That's
and I
fine.
think had they stuck the landing, but they didn't.
Yeah, I think that it was so high budget that I think people took the wrong lessons from Game of Thrones. You know what I mean?
Well, that might have changed TV forever.
That's a good point. Not for the better, apparently. But I do think Twin Peaks has earned that moniker, at least for me.
That's fair.
So, just a couple fun facts about it. After the premiere, people were kind of like, it's not going to do that well. Bob Iger of ABC convinced ABC to buy 7 episodes for $1.1 million apiece. So did you hear that?
1.1 million.
Every episode was $1.1 million. And so there was, I guess, basically a big showdown between Iger and the rest of the execs over a telecall from like West Coast, East Coast, and he ended up winning out. So we ended up getting the show. ABC also, though, required them to shoot an alternate ending that wrapped everything up in case it wasn't going to be successful and the pilot wouldn't go through, so they could sell it to Europe, basically. So they would sell it to Europe so that they could sell it as a movie, and then the European audiences would see it. So that's the European alternate ending, if you've ever heard of that.
That's dumb.
Well, that's how pilots worked back in the day.
Yeah, well, I don't like it.
It's so they could get the show made. So this is the one condition. So there is the alternate full one out there that's just a one standalone movie, basically.
Yeah, I just don't know. From what I watched.
Why that would be the case.
Yeah, also like who would have done it.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, that they did wrap up who
From,
killed
like,
Laura by the end, and it's not the
show's killer.
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
As a spoiler, I guess not a spoiler. Don't watch the international until you've watched the whole show. But yep. Let me just continue. Sorry. Oh, just another fun little silly fact that I saw was during the filming of the scene where Cooper is examining Laura's body, you see there's that malfunctioning fluorescent bulb over them. That was an actual malfunction. And Lynch was just like, this is interesting. It adds to that like ethereal feel of everything. Leave it.
I was wondering why that was there. If it just was like an ambiance thing or what.
It just was an
So
accident
that's
that he
really
left.
funny. Yeah.
There was another part where someone said their name instead of their line, and he said, "That's funny. Just leave it," because it threw everyone off, and it was like kind of adding to that whole uneasy feel that this show is supposed to give you.
Okay.
So that's all my fun background for the pilot of the show. You want me to get into a quick plot description? for
Yeah.
everyone? Okay.
Let's do that so we can talk
About
it.
this thing. Yep. So for our plot of the pilot of Twin Peaks, in the February of 1989, in Twin Peaks, Washington, the corpse of Laura Palmer is discovered. Soon after, Laura's classmate Ronette Pulaski is found beaten and in a fugue state, prompting FBI agent Dale Cooper to travel to Twin Peaks to assist Sheriff Harry S. Truman in the investigation. Finding a piece of paper under Laura's fingernail bearing the letter R, Cooper suspects that the killer is responsible for a similar murder 1 year earlier and that they may have struck again. Police discover the crime scene, an abandoned railway car containing half a heart locket and the words, "Fire Walk With Me," written in blood. Cooper and Truman interrogate Laura's boyfriend Bobby, but are not convinced he is the killer. Laura's best friend Donna realizes that James, Laura's secret lover, has the other half of the locket and persuades him to bury it. The episode ends with Laura's mother, Sarah Palmer, having a nightmare depicting an unseen figure unearthing the locket. And there's so much more that happens in this because they're setting up so many little threads.
So
Everyone's cheating on
much.
everybody with everyone, but that's our, main conceit
plot
of the show.
points. Yeah.
So, as our first time watcher, I need to know initial thoughts for you.
I liked it. I was worried because when you were watching it, there were obviously scenes and plot points that, like, I could overhear from being in the other room, or that, like, I was on the sofa doing something else while you were watching it. And sometimes the acting felt very soap opera to me. And so I was kind of worried going into it that the acting would perturb me so much that I couldn't enjoy the show. But I think, at least in the first episode, there was only, like, 2 people that at times, like, bothered me. Mm-hmm. So that was an immediate win. I also think that the show does a really great job the way it cuts from one scene to the next with like what they're choosing to display in each scene. Like, they cut from finding Laura's body and being like, that's Laura Palmer, to her mom in the home, like, Laura, come down for breakfast. Like, Laura, where are you? And I think those scenes being back to back is really upsetting and chilling. And I think decisions like that are very meaningful.
This is a very chilling show altogether. There are cheery moments as we watch the Log Lady intro vignette, which we'll be doing for all of these. This is a funny show. This is a very deeply sad show, and you're going to get a little bit of everything. And I do think that this first pilot actually exemplifies that in a really amazing way, because we do get a little bit of everything.
I also really liked the scene where where Leland, her dad, that's his name, right? Leland Palmer, is taking the call where they're, in essence, trying to tell him, like, Laura's missing and whatnot. And the police car rolls up behind him, like, and you see it through the glass. Again, that's one of those other moments that you're like, wow, shivers, that's devastating. And the second he interacts with the cop,
he knows.
He knows.
Yeah.
And that is just so heartbreaking to think about that being any parent. It's really interesting because Mom's performance in particular, when finding out about Laura's death, it's like, is this over the top acting? Am I uncomfortable because it's over the top, or am I uncomfortable because this is like how a grieving person reacts because their daughter was just murdered?
That's like the weird feeling is I'm looking at it. I was like, is this bad acting, or am I just really uncomfortable watching someone like bear emotion like this way on the screen, especially in silence? Like, this obviously uses a lot of repeating music. But in this scene in particular, it is like silent of her screaming. And it's hard to watch.
It was very tough to watch. But it's very interesting you have like those moments, but like you said, there is a lot of like humor interspliced, because then we get Dale Cooper in the scene and some of the things that are happening with like when he's questioning people or interacting with other characters. There's like immediate humor because he's literally talking to Diane on the tape recorder, like, Diane, what are these trees and shit? Like, it's such an interesting balance, especially for a pilot episode, to kind of give us hints as to like what tone we can expect.
Definitely. I wanted to point out, you'd said something about it sounding like a soap opera, and it's funny because like Lynch has used that word. Like, this was supposed to be like a police detective soap opera.
Yeah.
I guess the original idea was actually that the murder of Laura Palmer was supposed to kind of fade into the background as it became more about everyone else's intertwining stories. It didn't exactly end up going that way, as we'll get to.
Yeah.
But we do still get all these other threads of stories that all interconnect.
Was he originally planning to reveal who killed her still? Or we don't know?
I believe it's debatable.
Because that would be, I feel like, kind of a tough watch.
I want to wait.
Have her death kind of fade into the background without answers.
I think we will talk about this later.
Okay.
If that just, it'd be better to talk about later in future episodes.
Okay.
So, just, I want to avoid any spoilers or anything.
But I do like how they set up Cooper as being, like, it's very clear he's good at his job.
Yeah, and what it starts out as, and I think you'll see this growth also, is the reason he's a little, like, goofy is because this is a job. He is not yet in the mindset of, like, a town just had a really devastating thing happen to them.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's very clear, and Kyle MacLachlan gives a great performance of that, where it's, like, this kind of just not fully socially aware enough to, like, be appropriate, because this is a job. He needs to get up. But yes, he is very, very good, to the point of being almost supernaturally good. And that's kind of part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's also inspired plenty of other detective thrillers, and he also is inspired by detective thrillers. That's something I love about detective fiction, is it's like constantly building on itself and being inspired by other things and taking different areas. So
yeah. I really liked, I'm trying to think of the specific detective moments where I was like, oh my gosh, he's a genius.
The eye.
The looking at the fingers, the reflection of the bike in the eye. Also, just he is like chatting with Bobby, and he's like, you didn't love her anyway. And then also typing in the calculator, he didn't do it.
when he
just
looks
that
at Bobby
has-
and goes, "You didn't even love her anyway," about Laura, and it's like it's like the Sherlock Holmes element of just completely reading the person and knowing. Yeah,
which is like crazy and really impressive. And that, like, you could kind of just be like, okay, like maybe he made look a good guess based off this guy, but then you also have the added details of like seeing the bike in the eye in the video. So you're like, no, that's not just like a one-off guess. Like, he knows. He can read people. He can read the clues. Like, he is good at his fucking job.
Apparently so.
Does ACAB include Special Agent
It does,
Dale Cooper?
unfortunately. He's in the FBI. Again, that's something I can't talk to you about yet.
Fuck.
Because I do have opinions on if he's good at his job later in the show.
Interesting.
So, yep. But that's like literally up until the very end of the show. I think we can chat about that. So we'll wait a little bit on that.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. This is a great show.
I'm sure that'll like develop. Like,
it does.
Episode by episode would be interesting to have the conversation. In this episode, do we think ACAB includes Special Agent Dale Cooper?
Well, you know, it's funny because in my opinion, though, it doesn't include Harry S. Truman. But I think I just have a soft spot for Sheriff Truman.
Okay, that's interesting because I was wondering, I was like, is this guy too nice? Is this guy like too like normal?
He's like, a small town cop.
I was like, is it like, should I be suspicious of like how much I like him?
Suspect everybody.
Well, that's what I was feeling. And so when we're gonna get into like our bits, which I'm sure will inspire more conversation about certain plot points. There was one where I wrote his name down and I was like, I don't know where to like, I really like him, but I'm worried that I like him the amount that much. I do. Yeah. Like, well, if he's a murderer, I'm going to be so sad.
Let's get into our segments then.
Okay.
So we first have Special Agent Cooper on the case.
So
actually, you're in training, right? You're a Blue Task Force member or Blue Rose Task Force member in training.
I don't know what that means.
Exactly.
So Special Agent Dale Cooper on the case is where me, as our first timer, will list 3 moments that I think will matter later.
And then, that's it.
Yeah.
I'll just try not to give anything away. So hit us with them.
Okay. So my first of 3 is what the letter under her nail and the victim from the other town's nail.
Teresa Banks.
And like what that means and how those cases connect, which is like a very broad thing, I guess.
Can I point one thing out about that I think was really interesting writing?
What?
Is that Cooper's like, no one came to claim Teresa Banks's body.
That was so sad.
Basically it just dropped completely.
Yeah.
But now that Laura, the homecoming queen, like the pride of Twin Peaks,
like
has
someone that
there,
people care about.
Now all of a sudden everything is, which again, it's deeply, deeply sad what happened.
But it's also
to Laura.
like that is what
real
life looks like. Like any cases where the primary victim is, for example, a sex worker, doesn't get as much investigation.
Yep.
Cases where they don't have family to advocate for them, they're not going to get as much investigation if there's no clear leads. Yep. Like that is real life, and that's sad that that's real life, but I like that is incorporated into
It's clear that
the
they're tuned in. The other thing is that Cooper would have never gotten involved had Ronette Pulaski not been crossing state lines. They said
that's true. Yeah.
That's like another thing is like the FBI probably wouldn't have come in. I do like that part where Cooper's like, now listen, like you're working for me. Like when the FBI, like some people have a problem with that. And Truman's like, I'm here to help.
Bro.
And I was like, yeah, Truman.
Good. Yeah.
Like good cop. Because again, that's a thing in real life. We look at the Zodiac killers, like the Zodiac killer. Like the police refuse to cooperate with each other.
And there's been so
multiple
many cases
where,
historically where things don't get solved because different counties, different states refuse to work with each other and like share evidence.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
we
so
see
this
that all the
this
time.
is one so far. The Twin Peaks Police Department, pretty good. Decent at their job, other than, Andy crying at every scene.
That's true. Andy crying pissed me off so much. When Andy is taking photos of the body, just like
Sobbing.
I was like, Andy, shut the fuck up. You're on the
sensitive.
job.
He's sensitive.
You were on the job, bro.
Yeah.
Bro,
This is not the first time he's done it. They also said that when
Yeah,
they found the body in a farm, and I believe people thought it was like a suicide that he had to take photos of, and that was
Andy,
not good.
I think you need to find a new job, bro. I'm sorry, but like I know finding a corpse.
Just you wait.
Is
Just
very
you
difficult,
wait. You're gonna eat your words.
Uh-oh.
All right.
But I mean, come on, bro.
So
Work on things. Okay, so that was my number 1. My number 2 is obviously the buried heart necklace. And like, who is that in the
course.
dream? Yeah, duh.
these are all the ones. It's kind of funny doing this for the pilot because there's very clear threads. That they
Yes,
want us
there's
to follow.
very, very
Yes.
obvious moments.
Who picked it up?
Exactly. I need to
And
know.
why did Sarah see it?
Exactly. I need to know. And also, my third moment, I think will matter later, is just like, her psychiatrist seems weird as fuck.
I'm zipping my mouth.
I need more on this man.
Dr. Jacoby.
He's so weird and uncomfortable. And at first, I didn't realize like what kind of doctor he was. So I was like, oh, maybe it makes sense if he's in the, like, I can understand why he's volunteering to be a part of the autopsy if like he is a physical health doctor and would be like, Laura doesn't, I don't know, like something from an examination in the past that he might be able to like notice a difference or something. I don't know. Although him knowing her body in that detail would be uncomfortable anyway. But then them being like, oh, he's a psychiatrist.
And
I was like,
her parents didn't know she was seeing me, and she's 17, which like, I mean, I guess that's reasonable to have. There's supposed to be that separation, but there is still, he seems icky.
He seems really icky and weird. So I am interested.
I think you've
to get
made
answers on
that's
him.
a good observation.
I think it's a pretty obvious observation. But
Well, said suspect everybody.
I do, but I also suspect no one in great detail yet. So that's interesting. I don't know.
Cool. Yeah, I'm not going to add anything to your on the case. I think that this is I think you did a pretty good job so far.
Okay, I picked up the right clues.
You know what? One thing, actually, we'll get to it
Okay.
because it's later.
Okay.
So next thing is we have vibe checks.
Yeah, so we're going to give our vibe rating from 1 to 10 for a couple characters. So I'm going to get started with my vibe check for Mike is a negative 10,000 out of 10.
Yeah,
I hate
awful.
that man. I hate that man. I hope
He's a
that
high school idiot, basically abusing his girlfriend.
I hope that he got... I was about to say something so mean.
Yeah,
I was about to
don't.
say, I hope he got a concussion in that bar fight. Like
TBI.
I was going to say TBI, and that felt even harsher because, like, there's worse TBI.
It's funny, like, Mike
concussion.
is not, like, a huge main character, but he is awful in this
He's
first.
focused on so much in this episode.
He's Bobby's boy.
Yeah, and I hate him.
I think it's
and it makes
supposed to-
me hate Bobby
I love
that
Bobby.
he associates with this fucking dick.
Yeah, that's kind of the point.
And, like, Bobby has weird vibes, too, but not as bad as Mike, obviously. And not as bad as Leo. I think Mike and Leo definitely have the worst vibes. Leo's the abusive
Leo's on the other.
husband
There's a
of-
lot of abuse and a
Yeah.
lot of cheating and a lot of affairs going on in this show.
Yes.
And I kind of enjoyed seeing you. We were like, damn, everyone's fucking everyone.
Yeah,
like, and I was like,
literally.
yeah, that's like a big part. That's like the soap opera element. But it's also compelling in how I think it plays on small town tropes. And a lot of this show, I think, is about violence among small town white America.
Yeah.
That we don't really talk about, and how like everyone can be complicit in allowing this to happen. And I think as you see, there is like clearly a lot of bad stuff going on, including a girl getting murdered.
Yeah.
Who
yeah.
also everyone thought was wonderful and Laura is wonderful, but like now they're finding out
That she's more than...
had more than that. Like she
Yeah.
has cocaine, she's got money, there's all kinds of stuff going on. So
Yeah. Did you have Mike as one of your vibe checks?
I didn't because
Okay.
I think Mike, you'll see, but
Yeah, okay.
he's not, he kind of fades a little bit. He's around,
fair.
but
Yeah. The next character that I had a vibe check for is Dale Cooper. And my vibe score was 11,000 out of 10.
Of course.
I love him.
It's so funny. How could you not? He is so odd.
He's so
And, like,
quirky, but
yeah.
smart, but also like there's like this sweetness about him talking about like the trees and shit.
and his damn fine cup of coffee. Oh, we haven't
Yeah.
gotten there yet, but yes.
But yeah, like he's like, oh, I like stopped
You
at this
are-
diner on the way here and had the best slice of cherry pie. Like,
it is funny hearing someone talk. Everyone loves Dale Cooper.
well, yeah, I know. And the thing is like, obviously I've overheard you watching this show and seeing clips here or there, or you've told me things. So I'm predisposed to like Dale. Also, like I've seen Kyle MacLachlan and
He's great.
other Lynch, like Blue Velvet. So like, yeah, I'm predisposed to like him, but I would like him anyway.
And trust me, Lynch is going to play on those. Lynch and Frost, I should say, are going to play on those feelings. So
Great.
can't say too much.
What did you rate him?
I did. I'd say gave him a 10 out of 10.
10 out of
I
10?
gave Truman a 10 out of 10 too. I love both of them.
Okay, my next vibe check was Sheriff Harry S. Truman, and I gave him a 10 out of 10.
It's funny for people that we have a lot of issues with propaganda and like are clearly very distrustful of authority in the police. I can't help but love my FBI agent and love my small town sheriff.
Sheriff Harry S. Truman, I was like, I feel like he's so nice. I need to be suspicious.
I mean, even the way he handles talking to the parents.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, like good cop.
And he like
good person.
He's the one who goes to speak to Leland, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Like,
I will say, remember, the sign does say 51,000. The actual population is supposed to be like 5,000.
Yeah.
ABC made them add an extra 0.
yeah, no, I think it's very obvious. This is
It's like a 5,000%.
I'd honestly guess there was less than 5,000
Yeah.
people. Like, it just feels like a very,
Yep.
like a 1,000-person town. It feels very small.
Very much so.
Yeah. And then my last character that I had a vibe check for was Donna. I have her.
Oh, interesting.
I had a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, good.
I like her.
She's sus.
She's not the most suspicious person, especially like some of the other women her age or like in her rough age bracket. Like, what's her name is...
Audrey.
Well, Audrey's like bananas.
In this episode, yeah.
And then, like, Shelley is cheating on her husband, but also in this, like, abusive marriage. And I don't know what to make of all of that. And then the woman working at the diner, Nora is also cheating. So, like, I don't
Well,
feel
her
like...
husband's in jail, actually.
Yeah, that one's different, I guess. But
Hank.
Donna is probably the young woman on this show that I, like the most, but then she's also out here kissing her dead friend's boyfriend and like
Secret lover, actually.
yeah, okay. Secret boyfriend. And like
And
not
also, like,
being
not-
honest to the police who are investigating her friend's murder is not the best call. But I still can't help but like kind of like her. And I don't know if I'm just like biased because she's really pretty or what.
They're
But,
idiot kids. She's convinced James didn't do it.
and that's kind of why I'm not like giving her lower than that because I get it.
I was also going to
enough.
say, you talking about them all being pretty. This is like a well-known thing that all the women in
Yeah.
Twin Peaks are beautiful. There was all kinds of photo shoots that were done for this show
I'm
of
not
these of like
surprised.
Donna.
Yeah,
Now I can't think. Audrey and Shelley.
that doesn't surprise me.
So
I
yeah.
think
you know
Shelley might be one of the most beautiful people I've ever seen in my life.
you are correct.
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
And don't forget about. I just said Nora. It's Norma. Sorry,
Norma.
Everyone's going to yell at me. Norma being
Okay.
Peggy Lipton.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's I told you before. That's Rashida Jones' mom.
Yes.
Okay. My other vibe check, 10 out of 10. Log lady, Margaret.
I love the scene where they're like,
Who's the lady with the log? We call her log lady. Also, having the vignette of her, I would have not watched them before. So I would recommend everyone who's watching it go on YouTube and watch the intros for every episode because I think it's really cool. And they were also recorded way after the show had ended, so there's like a lot of
it's interesting.
yeah. So yeah, that's like a very fun element. But yeah, log lady rules.
Okay.
Love her. She's got a
Yeah,
log.
I don't know much about Log Lady yet, so
Yes.
I had no vibe check for Log Lady.
All right, Sheriff, who's your suspect of the week?
Suspicious for murder? I don't know. Suspicious as a human being? Definitely Bobby, Mike, and Leo. Notice how I'm picking asshole, abusive men. Maybe not Bobby.
Bobby didn't do any abuse that we know.
Bobby is aggressive, so I don't like that vibe either. I
Just love
love
when he does that.
the
taps the table.
Yeah,
at a cop.
the tap snap was my favorite thing. I was
They
walking
did get
around
into
doing
a-
it all day yesterday.
They did get into a crazy bar fight, but yeah, I
like
think
that's not
yeah,
great vibes.
No, Leo is incredibly suspicious as a
He's so
very
suspicious.
scary and violent man, or seemingly
and
violent.
I
man.
don't think Bobby did it because Dale doesn't think Bobby did it, and I don't think Mike did it because like why? We don't know enough about him to like suspect him. Besides, like he's a piece of shit who like would hurt his girlfriend. So I don't think they like are suspicious for murder. I just think they're suspicious people who probably need to go behind bars.
They are. Well, Bobby and Mike are behind bars right now.
That's true.
James,
And they should
unfortunately,
stay
as well.
there.
James didn't have. James was smart enough
Send
to go.
Leo with
Send
him
Leo.
because holy shit, that guy's creepy.
Leo's
and
got
scary.
a Leo's got to go to Gitmo, in my opinion. Like,
Yeah, that guy's a piece of shit. From watching just the first episode, I know obviously it's kind of tough because like you know what happened. Like, who do you remember who you thought was the most suspicious, or like just
Leo.
Okay.
I was really suspicious of Leo at this point, just because I was like, this guy is like the one that actually seems like he could do real violence. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that would be the one that would make the most sense. Looking back, this is a silly one, but there is a video some guy made recently, maybe the past year, where he was like, let's see if I can solve the case before it's revealed. Mm-hmm. And you have any idea who he guessed it was? No clue. A really out there pick. Go with something really out there.
Is it a woman or a man? Man.
Yeah. It's a cop.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it that guy crying at the dead body? Yeah.
Yeah, he predicted that it was them. And looking back at this first episode, I was also being like, wait, Andy is kind of suspicious.
Yeah,
like,
he
like, almost seems like he's like
sobbing.
faking at every crime.
It's just like absurd. Yeah.
So keep your eyes on Andy. But I really, that was like a very out there pick, but I didn't feel that the first time, but the second time around, I was like, oh my God, is this guy like, is this some kind of, usual suspects, Kevin Spacey? Like,
yeah.
Pick? So,
well, if I'm doing a vibe check for that guy, it's not a great vibe check.
All right.
He doesn't seem sinister, but the vibes aren't good.
So let's do our cherry pie moment versus our Black Lodge moment. You don't even know what the Black Lodge is yet, but you do know it. Cherry pie is good, Black Lodge, not good.
Yes. So
Nightmare versus cozy.
My cherry pie moment, my coziest moment would be Cooper talking about trees. He really likes those Douglas firs.
He loves those Douglas firs.
And it comes up multiple times, and I love that for him.
Do you like how he said the bureau where he's located is in Philadelphia, and he's so happy to be out of the city, Philly, and out into the countryside, which is where we live.
Chill. It's nice here, too. But it is nice to go on vacation in the Pacific Northwest. He has a point.
Mm-hmm. My cherry pie moment, there's actually a lot. There is a lot of really unsettling moments, and then there are some really silly things. And the one that gets me is that kid that's dancing in the hallway out of nowhere.
Yeah. It's like a very, very quick, he's like doing like this noodle arms half moonwalk
and it like
away.
Makes me giggle. Like all this horrible stuff is happening.
And this guy's flailing in the hallway.
Yeah.
Just like an asshole.
Yeah. So I just need to shout that out. I love that.
Okay.
What's your Black Lodge moment? Yeah,
my Black Lodge moment or my most unsettling moment. I have two.
Okay.
I have mom sobbing because she's found out that her daughter passed away. But specifically, I think when Leland is like being confronted in person by Sheriff Truman to like, and he doesn't need to say. Truman doesn't need to say anything, and Leland knows,
and he's
the
on the
mom
phone.
knows.
When he drops the phone, mom knows.
Yeah, that's so deeply sad and unsettling. And my other moment would be Leo towards Shelley and
from now on, you smoke one brand of cigarettes.
Yes, the harassment over a cigarette brand. Yes, those are my moments.
You know, it's crazy because he's like right to be suspicious, but you're clearly a horrible, abusive person.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. My Black Lodge moment, I realized this pilot has so many unsettling moments.
That's it was like hard to pick
upon rewatch, I think the first time I was like, this is pretty out there. I like it. I was really moved by the entire lead up to Cooper showing up, which is like even like the first 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. More than usual, like I found myself like kind of choked up during everyone's reaction to finding out that this like 17-year-old child was found wrapped in plastic dead on the beach. Like of Pete out there, Jack Nance, finding her. And I think the moment when Donna realizes and she peeks over and sees that Laura's not there, the police are there, and just starts sobbing. That is and they're playing the Angelo score, the Laura Palmer theme, which is the most beautiful piece of music ever written. I was a little hungover. And I was like, think I was already kind of drained emotionally from New Year's Eve and everything. I was really choked up. Like I was like trying to hold back tears, and I was like, and I think the first time I found it awkward, and this time I was like, damn, like this is such a good way to show this actual feeling.
Yeah.
and like really cut deep. I mean, obviously the parents reacting too. I mean,
man.
but either way, Donna and James looking at each other and being like, "Oh my god, did our best friend just die?" And like other kids might not know her, so they're like freaked out, but not the same. And the principal gets on there and he's choked up.
Yeah.
Like,
well, also
I'm getting
like the
emotional
cop
thinking
comes
about
in
it.
to like ask a question, and the teacher is clearly so like affected by what she's just heard.
And I'm really excited to see how you see the rest and how this builds and how the town reacts, and how I do think there's a lot of complicity throughout. But yeah, so that's like just something I really felt. And one more thing, every time they shoot that shot, and this is, you'll see later, of the fan looking up at the stairwell, and when mom says like, I can tell that's not her walking around up there, I was like, oh, but like he keeps coming back to that shot, and will continue through the entire series of coming back to that kind of shot. And it is funny, like I have visceral reactions to the show now. Just seeing Laura Palmer's like homecoming queen photo like makes me feel like horrifically sad.
Yeah.
So which I hope you will someday too. Yep. So those are mine. Okay. All right, now we get another one. Who are you going to trust with your coffee at this point in the show?
The characters that I trust the most at this point in the show would be Dale Cooper and Sheriff Truman.
I find it interesting you trust Dale, because I think I would too, but also like he's this outsider, you know? He's coming out, he's with the FBI.
Sometimes that's what you need.
That's what you need.
An outside perspective.
I trust, I want to say I trust Truman. I also trust Big Ed.
Who the fuck was Big Ed?
The gas station attendant, married to the woman with the eye patch.
I also got good vibes from him, but then he was cheating on his wife. And his wife does seem like there's a lot going on there.
There is a lot going on there.
So I'm like, okay, I understand why you're not happy with your wife, but being a cheater is tough.
Yeah.
So that took the vibes score down there too.
I think I trust Sheriff Harry S. Truman right now.
Yeah.
With my life, to be honest.
I want to give him a hug.
Yeah.
I want him to give me a hug.
Hey, he's dating the most beautiful woman in the state, as Cooper said.
Yeah, Dad.
Yeah, Josie Packard, who we haven't even talked about yet. Yep.
Well, because her storyline doesn't seem significant to the solving of the murder right now. So it's like, I don't...
Those trees, Hannah. The trees matter.
About it.
Okay. Well, I think we're down to our last little segment here, which is Notes for Diane.
So these are questions that I am carrying forward.
Yep.
And so I'll give you my questions, and after you can tell me which one you think I should pay most attention to.
I'll be your Diane. You're leaving this note for Diane right now, so...
Yeah, but you're going to tell me which one you think is the most important of my questions.
I got it.
But not why.
Okay.
When did Bobby... mine are in chronological order, I think. I tried to put them in chronological order. Not in order of, significance. My first question, when did Bobby start cheating on Laura? How much did she know? And did she care? That's more something I'm, psychologically interested in. And along with that, why is Bobby such a crazy shithead? He was literally his girlfriend died and he's drunk dancing on a car. I was like, Bobby, sit the fuck down.
I don't know. Everyone grieves in their own ways.
Bobby, sit down.
I do think he's grieving. He's
just doing it in such an interesting way. My next question, how long was Laura seeing James?
Okay.
My next, does the specific letter, I believe an R, under Laura's nail have significance? Similarly, the other girl having a T under her nail, does the letter itself have significance? Will the other girl who is alive remember anything helpful?
They do say that she literally might have brain damage.
Yeah, I know.
Which is also really sad.
It's so sad.
That's a great shot. Sorry, I'm all over here. Her walking across the railroad is shot, oh my, especially to bring that in that early in the show, in the pilot, is so cool. Lynch is good. I keep saying Lynch. I got to give Frost a lot of credit too. Great writers.
My last question, what specifically motivated Laura to start saving up money in the safety deposit box, and who was she buying Coke from? I'm confident we will get answers to almost every question that I have posed.
So what's my answer here? I have to tell you which one you should hold on to the most.
Which question you think I should keep on the forefront?
The cocaine.
Okay.
That feels, I feel like follow that thread.
Okay.
You asked a lot of good. I was going to say one previous to that, and then you went with that, and I said, you know what? Let's keep our eyes on that one.
Okay. What was the other one that you were?
The letters.
Yeah, obviously.
But I think that's a ways away. So.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I would assume.
I was going to ask if you thought the letters meant anything, or if you had any theories on it.
Not yet.
Nope.
Did you have theories this early
Absolutely
on the letters?
not.
Okay, just
Other than
checking.
that it was a serial killer.
I was like, bruh.
Because it's like,
you
okay,
think I got something from an R and a T?
There's a modus operandi.
Well, yeah. But there's only two, which doesn't make it a serial killer yet. Although they tried to have a third, which would make it a serial killer if the third girl died.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, by definition, not a serial killer, unless we find more bodies.
I have a question. Why is Renette alive?
I know, yes. I agree. We obviously know nothing about what happened to her, which is kind of why I posed the question.
She was raped multiple times.
Yeah.
And beaten badly.
Really horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I knew something about later in the show, and now I'm like, that doesn't connect with what I thought I knew. Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
Well,
with something else I know later, which I'm not going to spoil. So
okay. Well.
Yeah, I'm interested.
So let's write these questions down. We'll hold them on for our next episode.
Yes.
Is there anything else you want to say?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea for us to bring up my questions I was carrying forward, and if we've gotten an answer.
Definitely.
And if I have new ones to add.
What I'm going to ask, let's kind of have you rate the episode. Although I think it might be harder because you're going to want to compare it to others. But like maybe just, did you like it? 2 thumbs up?
I did
5
like
stars?
it. I do think it's a 2 thumbs up.
Give us a star rating.
I don't want to do that.
Okay, 2 thumbs up then.
2 thumbs
This is
up.
we'll come up, this is the first episode, so everyone get over it. We'll come up with, if it's like, damn fine cup of coffee.
Oh,
we'll come up
funny.
with, someone else, write it right in. What should be? So like, this episode is a damn fine cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Is what I'll say.
Yeah. Okay, I like
Cool.
that.
And then another one, throw it in the Black Lodge. We'll be like bottom, you know?
Okay.
And then,
That's funny.
I don't know what middle of the ground is. We'll get
have to
there,
think
though.
about
Yeah,
it.
we'll have to think about it. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
This is, hey, we're learning here. This is our new ones.
Yeah.
Well, I had fun here, Sheriff. So I think you did a pretty good job. And next week we will have a lot more to talk about.
I'm excited.
So next up will be episodes 1 and 2. We're calling them.
Which is stupid. I want to call them 2 and 3 so bad.
It's going to be easier if I call them pilot and then 1 through 7. I'm sorry.
Well, and I think that's how they're labeled on Wikipedia and stuff. So that is correct. Well, it irritates me because a pilot is the first episode. Fuck you guys.
For all you other agents out there who are following along, we hope you're watching the show along with us. Maybe send us an email or a DM with any questions or anything you want us to bring up. We'll read them on here.
We also have a phone number that you can call and leave us a voicemail at. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the show so far, thoughts on specific episodes, what characters you like, what your suspects were while watching at that point in the show. So you can call us and leave a voicemail message at 215-821-9584. And that phone number is going to be listed on our socials and in the episode description.
So now we actually have our first voicemail call-in for our segment that we are dubbing Messages from the Log. So here it is.
Diane, this is Marilee from Fear Coded Podcast, calling about the pilot episode of Twin Peaks. Damn fine pilot episode, Diane. This show instantly drew me in with its fully realized and deeply strange characters, plus the dreamlike Lynchian tone. I think the music particularly is singular, and that is what makes Twin Peaks so vivid in the imagination of the viewer. I didn't suspect anyone at the murder at this point, but there is just simply too many questions and not enough answers in order to have any kind of meaningful solve to me anyway at this point. But I will say that Dr. Lawrence Jacoby wrote the way that he rubbed under the hula skirt on his tie when he was talking about Laura with the sheriff and with Agent Dale Cooper, that always, to me, showed that he was bad news no matter what else was true later. Now, if you excuse me, Diane, I have to go examine all the donuts on the conference table. I hope that you have an excellent first episode and enjoy the pilot as well.
Thank you very much for calling in. And I wanted to say I love that thought about the hula skirt. It's something that I actually did not notice watching the first time or even the second time. And I think it's great. It's been pointed out. I've now seen it on social media as well. And just a precursor to how disgusting Dr. Jacoby is.
Yeah, I was going to say I just completely agreed with every single point brought up. I feel like you so concisely pointed out all of my favorite parts of the pilot episode. And I completely agree about Dr. Jacoby. I was immediately suspicious of that guy. Him and his weird Hawaiian shirts and different colored glasses have got to go.
Well, thank you very much for calling in, as I said before. And if anyone else wants their voicemail played or one of their emails read, please make sure to call in. Hannah, give them the number one more time.
At 215-821-9584. Again, that number will also be in the episode description for you.
And if we ask a question on Instagram and you respond, it might get read as well. So whatever you want to do to interact. But thank you very much. All right. Well, this has been Welcome to Twin Peaks, a Horror Hour with the Hannah's podcasting brand podcasting network.
No, that's not what a podcast network
We're
is.
a podcasting network now because I said we are.
That's not what that
What?
is. No, that's not what that
Shit.
is.
Damn it. All right. Well, we have a sign off yet?
No.
We'll come up with one.
Okay, well,
But for now, this is Agent Matt and Sheriff Hannah signing off.
Thank you for listening to Welcome to Twin Peaks, a Twin Peaks rewatch podcast from Horror Hour with the Hannahs. If you liked the episode, please make sure to give us a 5-star review on your favorite podcasting app. If you'd like to call into the show, call us at 215-821-9584. You can find us on the socials at Welcome to Twin Peaks Podcast on Instagram, or at our original account at Horror Hour Hannahs on TikTok. Come back soon for more coop, coffee, and cream corn.